evening, gang, and welcome along to our little Sunday night chat show. It's Sunday the 5th of October, 2025. Not long till Halloween. Halloween is on the way. People are getting scared. Well, certainly scared if they're watching this programme. Tell me that, yeah. Yeah, welcome along. Chris Whidden with you for the next hour and a half or so, my darlings. Nice to be here again. Actually, talking of Halloween... we seem to be taken over at the moment, and Halloween is included by the great Jaffa cakes. We seem to be taken over by Jaffa cakes at the moment. And doing my daily morning little radio show, I've been talking about Jaffa cakes recently, mainly because I tried what has become my favourite ice cream, Jaffa cake ice cream, which unfortunately, I say unfortunately appears to be homemade. You can't get it. You can't get it unless you buy these great big things, which I'll be honest with you, wouldn't be too much of a problem. Great big things like, you know what they get in those places? Would you like an ice cream? Yeah, you'll have a scoop of that, please. You know, one of those great big things like that. But I gather the place in Lossiemouth in Scotland actually makes it themselves. I don't think they buy it in. So I've been looking around, you know, and when I got back from Scotland, my mate gave me a lift from the airport. And on the way back, I was telling him about this Jaffa cake ice cream. I said, I'll tell you what, let's go via the co-op. You never know. So we looked there. And of course, there wasn't any in there. What I did is I got some... I bought a box of Jaffa cakes and some vanilla. It was actually the vegan one in the 50p shaped thing. Now, don't say, oh no, I can't have vegan. You haven't tried it yet, have you? Let me tell you, it's a blooming nice ice cream. Vanilla ice cream in the co-op, and it's in like a 50p shaped tub. Oh my God, it's really good vanilla ice cream. So I bought one of those and I bought some Jaffa cakes and I got them back and I chopped the Jaffa cakes into little pieces, little tiny little pieces, and mixed them up with the ice cream. And it was all right. But it wasn't. Do you know what I mean? It was okay. It was nice, but it wasn't the same as this Jaffa cake machine ice cream that I got in Lossiemouth in Scotland, unfortunately. So we continued to look. And we started talking about it in my daily little morning radio show that I do here. Not on here, actually. Every morning, gang, between 9 and 10 o'clock in the morning. It's only on for an hour. It's an hour of fun. And I do try and make it fun. We have little competitions there, little quizzes. We have an ABBA song every day. People get to vote on certain things. And it's a great little community going on in there. Especially if you download Twitch. Now, Twitch is similar to YouTube. But they don't have the copyright problems that we got on YouTube. Otherwise, I would do the show on here, but I can't due to copyright restrictions. On Twitch, they don't seem to have that much of a problem on there. Okay, so do try and download that free of charge, completely Twitch. And once you've done that, set up your free account and then look for me on there. My username is Chris Whidden UK. If you go on there tomorrow morning, around about 10 to 9, actually, you'll see a warm-up going on. And then just after the news, minute and a half past 9, actually, we start the show. And it's great fun on there. And we were talking about the whole Jaffa cake thing on there. People started sending stuff in, including our lovely Roy, if he's there today. I don't know. Thanks for your messages. I'll come to those in a moment, boys and girls. Incidentally, gang, if you want to send us a message and you want to make sure it gets read out, please text it. Okay, either text it. There's text numbers up there in the top left-hand side of the screen. 07451 287 337 is the text number, okay? I say that because the chat box gets very busy with people talking to each other, and it's become impossible, really, to go in there and find out what's for me and then what you're talking about with each other. Okay, so either send us the text up there, or you can use the email, which is just down there, okay? chris@chrisriordan.co.uk. Either of those two messages will make sure that your message comes to me and gets seen and gets read. All right? So we're talking about these Jaffa cakes, and we have, I don't think he's usually here for this particular show, but he's here in the morning for the radio show, Chris, a chap called Chris in Farnborough. And he located Jaffa Cake Halloween. You see how I'm roping this in to a mention of Halloween earlier on. Yes, it's just round the corner. Yes, gang, start getting in those little sweeties. And don't forget the bucket of water out the window, so when the kids annoy you, just chuck it over them. Ah! Don't forget to video that. Makes some fantastic YouTube and TikTok videos, that, all right? He discovered these. Look. Jaffa Ween cake bars. I'm liking the look of those. Jaffa Ween cake bars. Okay, so first we got the Jaffa cakes. Then we've got the Jaffa Ween cake bars, which do look utterly delicious. And I was at Sainsbury's earlier today. £59? 59, I had 2 bags. How is that 59? Not like that when I go to Aldi. The only thing is Sainsbury's have stuff that Aldi got. They have a much larger vegetarian section. And the reason it ended up being £59, my shopping today, was they had a couple of offers on. These Beyond Burgers, which in my opinion are some of the best vegetarian burgers you can get. Beyond Burgers. But, you know, £4.50 for 2. How is it £4.50 for 2 veggie burgers? It's not like they've spent 10 years eating grass for someone to shoot them in the head and then chop them up into bits, is it? No, it's been grown somehow. How is it £4.50 for 2 bleeding vegetarian burgers? Thieving people. Thieves, dear. Thieves, that's what they are. But 3 for 2. Happy days. Saving £4.50. Not in my case. Saving £9. Because I bought 6. So I've saved £9 there, right? Saved £9 on those veggie burgers. So remember that, Beyond Veggie Burgers. Now, when I say they're 3 for 2, right? Be careful. The smaller Sainsbury's, they're £5 each. £5 for 2. £5 for 2 veggie burgers. Come on, Sainsbury's, you're taking them. If you can afford to do 3 for 2 and lose £4.50, right? Nah. There's some of these supermarkets are really taking the biscuit. Tesco. Have you been in Tesco's lately? How expensive has that suddenly got? It seems to have been suddenly as well. Anyway, so that's the veggie burgers. Also in there, I quite like the This Is Not Bacon brand. And they do this vegan bacon, which it doesn't look. It looks more like dog chews. I won't lie to you. It looks like dog chews, but it's got the taste of bacon. It's got. I can't believe how stupid people are. Oh, well, if you're not going to eat real bacon, why do you want it to taste like bacon? What a stupid comment! Because it hasn't been shot in the head and died. I mean, the crap people come up with, really. It's stupid. I find it very hard to deal with stupidity, even more as I get older. I cannot deal with stupidity. I really can't. Ow! Why do you... But that means it tastes like a dead animal. Maybe it does. But an animal isn't dead now, is it? Idiots. Stupid people. You know, oh... Don't you think a carrot goes through pain when it comes out of the ground and you eat it? Another stupid comment that we come up. If you're a vegetarian, you're very, very familiar with all this crap coming out of people's mouths, along with the rest of it, dear. Anyway, back to the story. So This Is Not Bacon, the one that looks like dog chews, really tastes nice. It takes a minute to cook, if that, in the frying pan. Be careful. Don't leave it along too long. It will stick to the bottom very quickly. Keep turning it over. Now, don't do that. Don't. It don't work, mate. Honestly, it don't. Come on, who tries to do that with pancakes? Bit in the pan, bit on the floor. Or if you're really good, bit stuck on the ceiling as well. Don't worry. You've got plenty of time to practice for that. That's not till March or April, whatever date it is next year. So the This Is Not Bacon also was 3 for 2. I thought Christmas had started early in Sainsbury's. They were giving the food away, love. So God knows how it still cost me £59 on the bill at the end of the day. So I had these 2 bags of shopping, along with other bits and pieces, and came. I don't know how we got into the subject of Sainsbury's, but there we are. I was on my bike. On my push bike. Now, my push bike, I've got 2 very large bags on the back. Very high quality bags. Highly recommended. I can't think of the name of them now, but they're so waterproof and all that. I'm pushing the truck, and as I'm paying, oh, hang on a minute, I've got to get this in my bags yet. But there you go. It's one of those things. But I did manage, and I got them back here. So that's the Sainsbury's story. Anyway, back to the Jaffa cakes. So that was it. While I was in Sainsbury's, I should have looked for the, what are they? Let me see if I can find those again. The Jaffa Ween Jaffa cakes, which look very, very delicious, don't they? But that's not all, boys and girls. Also, my friend Roy, again, he's with us for the morning radio show. He too mentioned there are Jaffa cake ice creams. Oh, yes. Apparently available in Iceland. Jaffa cake ice creams, not in a tub, though, on a stick. So, I'm sure they're like vanilla, bit of orange stuff around the outside, and dark chocolate around the full outside, if you see what I mean. And they probably sound quite nice. Sadly, can't bring one in here to test it, because by now, with the amount of crap that comes out of my mouth, not as much crap as the people insulting vegetarians and vegans, not as much crap from the petrol heads that go, oh no, can't have electric car, no, it won't work, it'll break down, no, can't touch it, no, not as much crap as those people, but nevertheless, a small amount of crap that comes out. By the time I'd finished this, like it's now 12 minutes since the start of the show, it'd be melting, My hand will be covered in the yellow stuff, won't it? Being vanilla, of course. So we couldn't do that, right? However, I'm very, very pleased that one of my very dear friends, Vera, from Vera's Choice in the Morning, bought me a couple of gifts yesterday. She always brings me gifts in, Vera. She's got my back in that place. A couple of people, I do a karaoke at Central Station in Wharfdale Road, King's Cross. It's every Friday and Saturday nights, 7:30 till 11 p.m. This weekend was very good. We've had a good weekend this weekend. We also live stream it as well. If you ever want to go back and have a little look, just go on YouTube and type in Karaoke London. It'll come up right at the very top there, and you can watch one of our old shows. Be warned, I'm not quite as clean with my vocals as I am sitting here doing the chat show, okay, because it is a live situation, and now and again a very small swear word might come out, but it's all part of the fun. It's all in context, okay. Anyway, Vera this week bought me in 2 things. Several things, 2 of which are Jaffa cake related. Oh, incidentally, there is also a Jaffa cake ice cream at the moment in McDonald's. They are doing it as well. Again, me and my mate went over there specifically for the Jaffa cake ice cream McDonald's. And we had it, and it's all right. But that's it. It's all right. I find McDonald's McFlurries tasteless. If you want a proper ice cream, go to especially in Skegness. Okay, there is an ice cream box right next to McDonald's, just in front of the sea. Okay, there's an ice cream box there. I don't know what time they're staying open till at the moment. It's later in the summer. We're getting colder now. The time will come further and further back. But that's proper ice cream. Okay, there you go, mate. £2, not expensive either. A reasonable price. So that in Skegness, and I'm sure other seaside resorts have similar stuff there. The Jaffa cake ice cream at McDonald's is okay, but I wouldn't go any further than that. Tasteless McDonald's ice cream. But she bought me, Vera this week, Jaffa donuts. 4 in a box. 4 in a box. And she bought me these, and on Friday there were 4. Was one it left. One left. And these are like large Jaffa cakes with a hole in the middle. And they're quite nice. I'm not going to have that one. I shall save that for a later date. You know, what's it now? 6:15, maybe 6:20. I love the taste. So she bought me in those, and oh, is my light on, dear? Yes, it is on. And she also bought me in something I was harking on about because she's bought me these in before. And the last time I looked in whatever supermarket I was in, they didn't have them. These are Jaffa Cakes hot honey flavour. These are very, very nice. Now, I did come across someone who's tried them and really didn't like them. I can't remember who that was. These are really nice. And I thought I might have one or two with you while I'm doing the show. I seem to have... Oh. These sat there at 10 to 6 in front of me, and by 8 minutes to 6, I couldn't stand it any longer. I had to have a couple. Well, 4. So there we are. These are to die for. They really are. So you start eating them, and there's a slightly different taste when you put them in your mouth, right? But then the little bit of whatever it is it chili? Hang on a minute, let me have a little look here. Oh, do I want to read these ingredients of chemicals? Oh my God, what's in here? Glucose, fructose syrup, dark chocolate, sugar, cocoa mass, vegetable fats, palm shea, butter, oil, milk, cocoa butter, emulsifiers, soya lecithin, E476, natural flavouring, sugar flour, wheat flour, calcium, niacin, iron, folic acid. Oh, it's all right if you're pregnant then. Citric acid, humastant, glycerine, gelling agent, pectin, raisin agents, disodium disphosphate, ammonium bicarbonate, sodium bicarbonate, natural flavours, dried whole egg, acidity regulators, sodium citrates, treacle, colour, curcumin, emulsifier, salt to lecithin. I'm not sure I want it now. I mean, how unnatural is this? Anyway, so I don't see any mention there of chili. Because there's something in it that gives it a little kick. It says chocolate on top, sponge on the bottom, and a fiery, sweet, hot honey flavour bit in the middle. Here we go. It's so nice. Oh, wait. And there it is. Oh, these are absolutely delicious. Please buy some. Right, here you go. Jaffa cake, hot honey Jaffa cakes. So delicious. And as I speak to you now, my tongue feels like it's had a little bit of pepper on it, or some sort of pepper or chili on it. Absolutely delicious. I'm going over to my mate after the show today because he's not very well, again, at the moment. Some sort of nasty chest thing going on there. And I thought I'd take those over, and then I thought, no, I won't. Oh, dear, that's how it is. All right, so that's the Jaffa cakes going on there, boys and girls. I mentioned Sainsbury's, didn't I? Vera also bought me 2 other things. Now, I'm sure, Vera, you've bought me one of these before. I don't know if she's with us tonight. I'll have a look at the text in a moment. But I'm sure she's bought me one of these Backstractors before, which is quite nice. Also, you know, if you're out somewhere and someone upsets you, you can... You know, you could take their bleeding eye out with one of those, couldn't you? Come on then, come on! I might take it to the organ. It's me playing the organ next week at church. And if now and again we get someone who's dragging. By dragging, I mean, so we're going at a pace and they're slower. They're not keeping up with everyone. I could hit them with a, keep up now! Keep up! I might have to give this to Sheila, or one of the other ladies, to deal with, because obviously, you know, I can't stop playing and think, keep up now! Keep up with the rest of us! Thank you, Vera. And she also bought me this fly swatter, which I believe is supposed to be used on Toby. You know, to try and knock some bleeding silence into him. Because he comes on the stage and he's always got a story, except no one ever laughs. I do the funnies, dear. I'm the one getting paid to do the funnies. Come on the stage, sing your song and piss off. Bleeding annoying people. So you just hit them with this, like that. Is it a fly squatter? Yeah, it's a fly squatter. Not as good as the one I've got, to be honest. Not that I'm not grateful, Vera, if you're there. Right? But I got an electric one downstairs. Oh, yeah. The smell of burning wings. Is that a cruel thing, do you think? Maybe that's cruel. My sister was saying, oh, you're supposed to be a vegetarian. She goes, oh, you're not supposed to be cruel to... Another one who comes out with so much bullshit you wouldn't believe it, honestly. Anyway, talking of my sister, I am making a very rare appearance today on the Butler's Empire channel, boys and girls. I think they've been struggling a bit with the numbers recently, going down a little bit with the numbers. It just happens, People get fed up eventually. I think people got fed up of this show, many years ago, looking at the numbers. But I think it's happening to my sister now. And I think they need a little bit of help with the numbers. And, obviously they sit there, two very, very ordinary. You couldn't be more ordinary than my dear sister and her husband. You really couldn't be more ordinary than that. So they want a little bit of star quality. And you can understand, oh, Chris, would you like to be in the video? And I thought, I thought, yeah, all right. So it's anything to help you out. So you may try and log on to the Butler's Empire channel at 8 o'clock and have trouble getting on due to the increase in viewers from me being a global phenomenon as I am all over the world, universe and beyond via transponders on the Hubble telescope and throughout outer space. Little pictures of me on Voyagers 1 and 2. I wonder what they will think of those when they see them. So I will be on the little Butler's Empire thing. I don't know what they've edited, and I would imagine they've had to cut a lot of it out because me, no filter. I haven't got time for people with filters. Thank you very much. All right, so there we are. Anything to help my sister out? You know that. No, I didn't charge them. No, I didn't. Did she buy me a lunch that day? Hang on a minute. Let me think. What did we do? Yes, they did. Yes. Oh, hang on a minute. No, hang on a minute. We went out for lunch. This was when I was up at the caravan last week. We did go out for lunch. That wasn't the day we had the camera, was it? No, we went out. So yes, they did buy me a lunch, but that's not the video that we did. I had a lovely day with my sister. Always have great fun with my sister. Usually at her expense, to be honest. So that's something to see later on. That's at 8 o'clock, all right, on the Butler's Empire channel. And, feel free to send them a message while they're live. Really nice of your brother to help you out to try and increase the numbers. Feel free to send something like that. They will love reading something like that. Believe me, they really will. Right, let's have a look, see if we got any text messages tonight. Anything coming in on our text service? There we are. Oh, we have indeed. Sorry to keep you waiting a little while. I always think it's important to do stories and things before we go to messages. Otherwise, there's no show. Do you know what I mean? If I was just sitting here just reading out messages, there's not really a show, is there? A lot of people make this mistake on radio, when they're doing internet radio shows, and there's lots of people doing those now. There are people who are fantastically good at it. They're really, really good at it. And there are people who are really diabolical at it and everything in between. But one thing, some of the new people, the mistake that they make is basing their shows on requests or messages coming in. You can't do that, especially if you're just starting out. You've got to be able to do a show with no messages and no correspondence from other people, because it will happen. Even people who are doing it all the time, it happens to them. It happens to some of the people at LBC. They really struggle for phone calls at night. Sometimes you can hear it just by the way they're begging people to ring in all the time. If I haven't got the phone line open yet, which I'll probably do a little bit later on. But even, I really struggle for phone calls. You get the same people ringing in, and I am very grateful to them, but no one else. And then you get people telling other people to ring in, but they don't ring in themselves. It's really hard getting a phone call in. And similarly, of course, if you're brand new and you've never done a radio show before, and then you do a show, people don't know you yet. Why would they send you a message? So you've got to be able to plan, not necessarily minute by minute, but write something down, or put little news stories down, or things that you've been doing, so that okay, and you don't know what to say. Glance down at your piece of paper, and you've got 20 things to choose from. Do it before the show, okay? Let's have a look here. Patricia in Manchester's there. Good evening, Patricia. Oh my God, she sent this in 37. I'm sorry, Patricia, who's looking forward to the show today. Hope you're enjoying it there, Patricia. Evening to Jason's son. Hello to you, sir. Evening, Jason. He was at the karaoke last night. He's the person that is singing when you've got the caption up. This person doesn't want to be seen on the camera, which is fine. Not everyone does. He also bought me in gifts last night in the form of 6 bags of cheese and onion crinkle cut crisps. Thank you, Jason. Thank you, Jason. Very kind. There's Vera. Good evening to Vera from Vera's Choice in the Morning. Queen of Jaffa Cakes. Every week, another little gift. And of course, George brings me in stuff every week, chocolates. In fact, this week he bought me in another bag of chocolate eclairs, and he bought me in 6 apple and blackberry Kiplings? I can't remember. Are they Kiplings? Kipling cakes. I think they're McClippins or something like that. Six pies today, which, don't tell him this because he might think I'm ungrateful, but I gave them to the church earlier for their tea room. And then people can pay £1 and build up the church funds, my dear. So we can have some more gold on the wall, or perhaps a few more flowers. Beautiful. Thank you very much. Evening to Maureen. She was at the karaoke this week. Evening, Maureen. Mark Bowles is there, who says, I'm here. Panic over. Just dropped my little man back. Hope you're well. Thank you, Mark. Hope you had a nice day with your little man today. I think I saw pictures. I can't remember what you were doing today. Where did you take him today? Every week he goes on another outing, takes his little boy. He has access to his little boy weekends, and takes him to various little things. Good evening to my nephew's wife, Stacey. Evening to you. We miss you already. I miss you already. From baby Charlie. I've taught him to do that, and he goes. Baby Charlie, out of all the children I've ever come across, is the happiest baby ever. And his little face reminds me of a little chipmunk, the way his cheeks are. He is just happy at all times. Yes, he is. Jason, he says, your radio show and the YouTube show, and thank you for the karaoke and all those things every week. A pleasure, Jason. I enjoy doing it all, as you well know there. All right. Anyone sent an email in? No. If you want to use the email, that's down there. Okay, down there. Or the text number. That message will get straight to me, and it won't get missed at all. Okay. Try and use one of those 2 things. Or just have a quick look in the chat box. I can't go into chat messages because there's just too many of them. I can read names though. Fun things to do with Tech Sparky. Hello to you, Stu. Evening, Stu. Jason. We've got High Sense. Hello to you. Mr. Gary Ross. Evening. Jimmy D. Hello, Jimmy. He does a radio show. Evening to you, Jimmy. Welcome along to the show, Jimmy D. High Sense washer lover. He loves the washing. Hello to you, sir. Chris, SCTV fan. Hello to you, sir. Hello. Let's see you there. Excuse me. Actually, we had some people in the USA over for the karaoke. It's the second time they've been. They're from California. And when I was there back in June, I intend to go again, maybe next year. Although this time I'll make sure I do 10 days and get 2 Sundays in, because I can go to that church that I really like, St. Monica's. I just something very special about that church that I really like. I actually listen to the mass when I go out to the gym later on after I've been to my mate's house. I have the mass on in my ears and the singing and the readings and everything like that. Monsignor Todjo, I think. I'm sorry, that's his name. Honestly, that's his name. Montidio Todjo. He's a lovely man, and I met him when I was over there. I think I might go again next year. And they were saying, let us know when you're coming, and we'll all meet up again and go to a karaoke over here. Now, that would be something, you know, because I haven't been to a karaoke in America. Maybe it's run differently, you know. Maybe they have a host who doesn't insult people. Can you even believe that? How boring would that be? Imagine going to a karaoke and there's not someone like Toby to take the mick out of. I don't know if I'd like that. I do. Oh dear. Hello to Sean, who's watching on his big TV. Evening to you, Sean. Welcome along to you. I'm just scrolling through. I can only read the names on your thing there because it's just too busy chatting to each other. Roy's there. Good evening, Mr. Roy, who's been waiting on Twitch. No, wrong, Roy, dear. Wrong day, love. Twitch is Monday to Friday. I can turn Twitch on if you want me to. I can. Oh, we're on TikTok as well tonight. If there's anyone on TikTok, can't see any messages from you at all, I'm afraid. Please use one of them. I keep begging you to use the other methods. You know, all right? Text or email. Use one of those to get me a little message in, my darlings, all right? If you want to send something there. Just scrolling there nice and quick. Is that everyone? Jimmy D, we've mentioned. Hello to Jimmy D. He's got an EV. Have you got an EV? Oh, how lovely. Yeah, I'll have an EV at some point. I've been talking about wanting an EV now for like 20 years. This time I was convinced I was going to get one, and then I thought, I'm not sure about this. So I went with another hybrid. I got a Honda HR-V. And we were looking under the engine, actually, my brother-in-law and my sister, last week, and we think that the coolant is a bit low. And I'm not sure. You know, I think I can probably put it in the right place, but I'm not sure. You know, do you just put water in? Or just neat antifreeze? And if so, what's in there now? And if it mixes with that, is that a bad thing? So I might just go to the garage and be done with it. Does that sound really stupid to do that? I'll have a little look in the manual, you know. I suppose that's all online. Is there a book somewhere? I don't do that when I drive a car, love. No. I just go and let me have a look under the engine. What for? Why do I want to look under the engine or tighten something up? There's a few I could do with a little bit of tightening up here and there, I suppose. Myself, to be honest, you know. Does that look good? Does that look good? Or that? You know. Is that any good? I suppose I could look in the manual and see what's happening. Hello to John Dixon, karaoke. Evening to you. I think that's everyone, is it? Roy. Yeah, there we are. Oh, there's my sister. Hello, sis. Evening, sis. And Paul Adamson. Evening to you, Paul. Hello to you, sir. And there's my nephew, Gary. Hello, Gary. There we are, Butler's Empire. We love to support channels that are going nowhere. Absolutely. And that's why I've done a little bing for your show this week. Don't forget, gang, Butler's Empire tonight, 8 o'clock. Okay, 8 o'clock. Obviously, I'm a little bit calmer on there, you know, because my sister is with me. And I don't want to overshadow. A bit like me, you know, if you invite me to a wedding, I promise not to outshine the bride. I promise. And I hope that I didn't outshine my sister on the upcoming Butler's Empire presentation at 8 o'clock. Now, that show is not live, but it goes out and they are in a chat box. Both my sister and Martin from Butler's Empire are in a chat box, and you can talk to them, okay? And they will answer you, all right? There's two of them, so it's easier. There's only me here, so it's a bit difficult to do all these things at the same time. Right, I'm scrolling very quickly. so I don't miss any names out. Weird City, good evening to Weird City. Hello to you, Mr. Rob Kershaw. Hello to you. And Dino is in the house. Hello to Dino there as well. Roy says, my secret is out. Oh my God, no! Oh, please, Roy. That can never happen, my love. Please send me a picture in. Oh, it's a real pain in the arse to get it on here, but... how am I going to do this then? Hang on a minute. Oh, God. As you know, I am a British Airways British Airways Club silver member now. And Roy has clearly got too much time on his hand, and he has knocked up something particularly awful. It's awful. And I cannot believe that he would have done such a thing. I say I won't even come up with it. It's so awkward, Roy, to do things like this when we're on, love. Let me try. Hang on a minute. I can't do this now. No, hang on, man. Oh, God. Oh, please don't send me pictures in while I'm on. Hang on. It's just a white screen, isn't it? Why is that? Oh, hang on. No, we're getting there. How do I do fit to window? Oh, hang on. There we go. There you go. Now, I just want everyone to know that this is a lie, okay? He's got so much bloody time on his hands that he's knocked this up to say that I have been on a Ryanair flight more than once and gained Emerald status top level frequent flyer recognition. Listen, I have been on a Ryanair plane about twice. Never again. Rude staff, and your feet are up someone else's arse in front of you. The most uncomfortable thing ever. Thank you very much, Roy. Very good. Very good. He sent something else in as well there, I think, somewhere. Hang on a minute. There we are. Paul Copeland's there. Hope you got the tag. I did some music you might like. Thank you, Paul. I'll have a look at that later on. Carl says, have you been on the coffee tonight? Oh, no, thank you. Bitter. Don't like coffee. I like the smell. Don't like coffee, Carl. Not for me, my love. No coffee for me, unless I have to stay awake a long time. I mean, if I was with Mark Bowles, you know, I may go off on the coffee, just so that I'd probably have to stay awake for him all night long. I can just imagine it now. Every time I try and go, I'd be like just gradually going to sleep, and that leg would come over. Oh no, not again. You know, when you're trying to get off. You know what I mean, girls, don't you? You know what I mean, ladies. There you are, and that leg comes over, doesn't it? Oh, no, not again. Listen, if you're offended, go somewhere. I don't do customer services. If you don't like it, you find it too rude, go somewhere else. That's it. You know, Radio 2 is on all day long. Oh, hello, Radio 2. How are you today? Yeah, well, let's make some jam together. Oh, my God, it's so boring. Mark Bowles, did you manage to read the rubbish I sent you? Yes, I did, love. I think I replied to you, didn't I? Did I reply to you? Sure, I've replied to you. You should have let me know. I could have sent you some new teeth. Just had those ones taken out and get some plastic ones put in. You only have to change them once every 15 years. Happy days. Or go to Turkey. Can end up looking like Katie Pricey. What do they look like, eh? Do you hear me? What are all these people with all these various things that they had done to them? What are they going to look like when they're like looking old, like my sister? What are they going to do then? At least, you know, you look at my sister, you look at my sister. I look at my sister and I think, you know, it's good. You can see that she's had nothing done. Do you know? I'm sorry, sis. I'm on the roll today. I don't know what's... I got verbal diarrhea today. Funnily enough, I had the real diarrhea on... it doesn't matter. Thank you, Vera. Mark. Yes, dear. Yeah, I know what you mean, love. If you need any help, you know, any help or anything like that, you just let me know, my darling, all right? Okay, now what else have we got? Paul Adamson is trying out multi-cup... I don't know why I said multicultural then. Can I just start that again? Delete that bit. Paul says, Chris, ask your Alexa to say, a seal pushed me yesterday in I don't think I'm going to do that, Paul. I can't stand swearing on a radio show, love. That's why I've had to stop listening to the delightful Alan Ross. Swearing on his radio show. I mean, accidental, but nevertheless it was it. Anyway, let's read the correct what it says here. Started trying out multifocal contact lenses this week. Struggling to get used to them. Yeah, I tried those. I don't know what you mean by multifocal. Do you mean bifocal? So you got something at the top and something different at the bottom. Oh my God, no, I tried those. No, thank you. I've got 2 pairs of glasses actually. I've got computer glasses, which is for here. That is these ones, okay. And these ones, I've only had to start getting these ones. I just had reading ones before, and I got these reading glasses, and I sat here, and why is it bloody computer's blurry? Anyway, I rang them up. I said, are they all right for it? I said, yeah, it's just a computer. He says, right, you're going to need another pair, I'm afraid. Measure the distance between your eyes and the computer. And then we'll make some more. And they did, and that's been perfectly all right. So happy days there. The multifocal ones, I have tried those. I couldn't get on with those either. Send them back, or go back into wherever it is you go, and just get 2 pairs. You don't need to spend hundreds of pounds. These were 15 quid, right? Don't spend. My sister's got £200 glasses and all. I don't get it. Why would you spend £200 on a pair of glasses? More money than sense, some people. I'm telling you that now. Like those people who go club class on an aeroplane, you know, when they can go perfectly comfortable economy seats. Why would you do that? Idiots. Dean's good evening to Dean. Hello to you, sir. Do you know, Dean, I saw someone in the pub on Friday night. I swore it was you. I was trying to attract this bloke's attention, right? And he kept looking at me, and I thought, is it him or not? So was that you on Friday or not? It certainly looked like you. Looked like, yeah, Paul Adamson, the lens trial is free. Yeah, well, you've had the free lens. Now take them back and get proper ones, mate. Bleeding bisexual glasses. Whatever next year. Next thing we'll have bisexual people walking around the place. God, that is very strange, isn't it, eh? Evening to Tommy Harlon. Evening to you, sir. Right, now, what have we got here? The rudest celebrities. Here we go. Are you a rude celebrity? Do we know any rude celebrities? My friend Charlotte bumped into Posh. No, not Posh, no. What's the one with the frizzy hair? Scary Spice. She was at an event. My friend Charlotte, MC Dryweave, she was known as, was a DJ. Lovely, lovely lady. She's got to be 60 now as well, blimey. And she used to DJ at the Royal Vauxhall Tavern. She was at the Black Cup on my first night and made me feel welcome. That's before she was a DJ with her friend Joy. And the pair of them were sitting there and they made me feel so welcome. And I'll never forget that. And then later on, she became a DJ as well. Anyway, she was at some sort of event and bumped into Ginger Spice. Oh, hello, I just wanted to say how great I think you are. And she, yeah, all right, and walked off. There's a good example of rudeness. Have I come across any rude celebrities? Or stars? Not stars. There's been a couple of drag queens. Oh, aren't some of them? And most of them are perfectly all right. Some of them are so far up their own arse, it's unbelievable. I mean, really. And it's always the people who haven't made it yet. It's those people who are a pain in the arse. I ain't got the time of day. I just get on, I do my job, and I only talk to them if I have to, if I find them rude. And really, with all those people I work with over the years, it's about 3. Out of all those, I don't know, would it be as much as 100? Maybe so. There's about 3 of them were rude, which I won't name. One's not here anymore. One had to change her name. She had to change her name because her rudeness, not just to me, to other people, got so well known, no one would book her anymore. So she had to change her name. I mean, you know you've got it wrong once you have to do that, don't you? Honestly. But, Here we go. Rude and crude. The rudest celebrities of all time revealed by the Sun's showbiz team as we name and shame the worst offenders. There's a lot to be said for not meeting your idols, right? Because when you're on the stage, on the telly, on the radio, you are being projected the image that we want you to see. I might not be like, Vera, if you want to know the real me, speak to Vera, speak to Roy, speak to my mate, speak to my sister. They will tell you the real me. Is this me as I am now? It's not far off it, to be honest. Bit mouthy, a bit mad. But there are other bits to me. You know, you need to speak to someone who knows them, right? And sometimes it's like, why don't you meet Barry Manilow? Well, number one, if I want to meet Barry Manilow, it's going to cost me about £1,000 for the platinum experience, in which you get a signed autographed photograph, your photo taken with Barry Manilow, a front row seat, and a little bit of a little drinking session going on before the show. That's what you get for. Actually, I think it's £1,200 now, right? But I'm a big fan of Barry, and I'd hate to meet him and change my mind, if you see what I mean. Lots of people on the telly who I love to bits, you know, Bruce Forsyth. I'm afraid it's all the pedos as well, because at that time we didn't know they were pedos. Like Rolf Harris, Jimmy Savile, Stuart Hall, all those. We loved them. We didn't know. Didn't have a clue. Jimmy Savile, or just this bit of an odd bloke who's on the telly who's quite funny. And then years later you get the real stories, don't you? See, you don't know. You don't know. You can't blame people who are in their 60s, 70s, 80s and beyond for liking those people then, because no one knew. No one said a word. But apart from those, you know, other people, the people on the buses, the cast of Dad's Army, I gather Arthur Lowe was a bit of a miserable git. But I didn't know that. I wouldn't know that because I never met him. So there is something to be said for not meeting your idol, in case they turn out not to be what you thought they were. But here's some of them are wonderful. And I would class them as stars. All the stars I worked with over the years, working their sound as a DJ, I don't think there were any stars that I was disappointed with. That would include the Beverly Sisters. Oh, lovely old dears they were. I don't know if they're still around, or all of them are still around. Brotherhood of Man, Bucks Fizz, Julian Clary was an absolute delight. He was hilarious. And what's his name who died? Paul... Lily Savage. I worked with a lot of people, and all those people that were already stars were great. They were lovely. I remember, I think one of the first lot I worked with was Bucks Fizz, and I said, and Dollar, I worked with Dollar. Yeah, it was Dollar. No, it wasn't Dollar. David had become part of Bucks Fizz when the other one dropped out, right? And I was really nervous, you know. So, hello. I said, I know it's not the Royal Albert, or I do the best with the sound I can. I hope it's all right for you. Oh, that's all right, mate. Don't worry about any of that. If you just work the lights, we'll be all right with the sound. Okay, fine. And someone else I worked with on the radio, a few like what I would class as radio stars, Dave Cash. He was a lovely man. Lovely man. I walked in on him first time, and I was after him. You see, he was doing 10 till 2, and I was doing 2 till 6 in the morning. This was at Liberty Radio in London. I walked in. Hello, Dave. I'm Chris. Oh, hello, Chris. How are you? I said, I just want to say it's a real privilege to be working here with you. Oh, piss off, will you? And we were laughing. And David Hamilton. That was the big one. David Hamilton. On the radio after me. And I'm sitting in the studio. I'm watching this bloody clock watching this clock ticking over. Oh, he's going to be here in a minute. going to be in them. And there's a big window in front of me with 2 studios. Mine, well, one studio one and the one next. And whoever's in, if you're in that studio, the next person is in the other one, right? Oh, God, what time is he going to come here? You know, I think he was on at 6, 5:45. Don't say, is he going to be late? Maybe he's got to, and at about 10 to 6, something like that, I saw this little head walk past. Because he's only little, David Hamilton. And he was coming, oh my God, he's coming towards the door. Open the door. Hello, you must be Chris, are you? You're the one that does all the gigs? I said, yeah, I do some DJing. Oh, hello, Chris, I'm David. Do you want a cup of tea? Oh, yeah, please, yeah. Sugar? Just a little bit of milk. Okay, thanks. So he brought this tea in. And we had a little bit of a chat, and he had to go in his studio and get ready. Professional, didn't need to do much. And I took a sip of this tea, and it was full of soap suds. But I didn't say anything. You know, and all those people were nice. They were nice people. Very nice people. But The Sun says, today our fearless showbiz snitch's name and shames the worst offenders out there, divulging the dirty secrets the stars definitely don't want you to know. Prepare to be socked. And it goes from screaming angry words to brazenly reliving themselves. Our team of reporters have seen some of the most obnoxious behaviour in showbiz. And when I tell you, certainly a couple of these people, you'll think, yeah, I knew that anyway. Despite their charmed lifestyles, it's astonishing how often Cockney celebrities and despicable divas let their glossy masks slip to reveal their foul mouths and filthy colours. And now we're naming names. Now, I'll be honest with you, when I'm not sitting here like this, my mouth can be quite foul. I'm sorry, and I do pray, I seriously pray that I can learn to stop swearing all the time. I seem to manage it fairly well when there's a microphone in front of me. Once this goes off, in church, doesn't happen. And yet you don't think about it. How doesn't it happen that I would be swearing my head off in church? Why doesn't it happen? I don't think to myself, okay, I'm now in church, I must not swear. It just doesn't. It stops. Perhaps it's him. All right. Here we go. Now, I don't know some of these people, right? Reality's TV star, Charlotte Crosby. Anyone know her? No, me neither. No, I haven't got a clue who you are, love. Which means you know one. Charlotte Crosby is such a busy woman, she can't even break off an interview when she needs the toilet. If any reality star sums up a spoiled brat, it's our Shah, reveals our reporter. Worse still, when she was all glammed up in a glitzy green party dress for our Christmas magazine cover shoot, she asked me to come to the toilet with her as she wanted to carry on talking. Oh no. No. Why would you want to continue to talk to someone while you're in the toilet? I can't stand that. I hate to, you know, you go in public toilets and the wall doesn't go all the way down, or the door. You know, it's a gap there. I hate that. I want to be completely enclosed in a door, hermetically sealed so the air can't get in or out. I'm not bothered about lights. You can turn those off if you want. I'm very used to being in dark rooms. It says she went into the cubicle and didn't close the door and proceeded to do a poo while she kept chatting to me. Is this for real? It was one of the most disgusting moments of my life, says the reporter. All those late nights have been known to catch up with her. Another mole tells us I interviewed her several times around 2008, 2018 to 19. Oh, she's been around a while. Funny how none of us know her. I bet none of you do either, do you? You've never heard of her, do you? Charlotte, what is it? I nearly mentioned my nephew's wife's name then, because she's got the same first name, Charlotte. What is it? Charlotte? What's her name? Charlotte Crosby. Charlotte Crosby. Another mole tells her she once fell asleep mid-interview with me. Literally fell asleep in the bed we were sitting on. Or maybe it was just a boring interviewer. Might not be her fault at all, love. You know, just because you're an interviewer doesn't necessarily make you interesting. Look at Charlie State and Nagaman Shetty on Breakfast Time. Two of the most miserable bastards you've ever come across in your life. There's no humour there. No humour. They think she's got that smarmy face, hasn't she, old Naga? And he sits there full of self-importance. Awful people, dear. Just because you're an interviewer doesn't mean... And maybe it's you and not Charlotte. I bet she's a perfectly nice lady underneath it all. Other times she yawned rudely. Hey, you must have been a boring interviewer. She yawned rudely, broke off into a separate conversation with her friend, and proceeded to eat her breakfast while talking with her mouth full. Oh, no. Maybe she just didn't like the interviewer. I'm getting the opinion here from this story that the interviewer is a little bit of a, love themselves, whoever it is. Let me just read some of your messages out here. Dean says, oh no, it wasn't him. Was working back. Do you remember years ago there was a guy that looked like me in a black cap? Maybe that was him, Dean. It might have been him. Good evening to Big G. Apologising for being late. He just woke up. That's all right, love. You're a hard worker. I don't mind people that work hard and then are late. That's fair enough, mate. It's the intentionally unemployed who have got nothing to do with themselves that turn up late that I get very, very upset with. Not those who are carers. Before you moan, oh, not all unemployed people are doing it. I know that. You know the people I mean. Thank you. Don't forget, gang, if you're going to send us a message, please use the text number there or the email down below, okay? Anyway, that's one. Let's find another one. And then they turn on. The next one to turn on is the lovely Justin Bieber. He seems to be going through some hard times. The problem is, when you've got so much money and you can do anything you want, when someone tells you you need to slow down, you just tell them to... Do you know what I mean? And I worry for this boy's health, because he is a boy. Oh, yeah, he's married with a child. Doesn't mean he's still not a boy. He's still a boy, in my eyes. It says here, everyone is allowed an occasional off day, and entertainment reporters generally develop a thick skin to lateness, but some stars insist on behaving like overgrown children. Justin Bieber has been surrounded by flunkies since he was a child, and clearly growing up in the spotlight meant he missed out on learning basic manners. One writer was due to interview him at a Los Angeles hotel back in 2016 when Love Yourself, when that one, when Love Yourself and Sorry were both chart-topping hits, and he was about to embark on his huge Purpose World Tour. He turned up like hours late to the interview, and then loudly announced that he needed the toilet like a 2-year-old, she recalled. When I politely remarked that we would need to get started as soon as possible when he returned, Bieber snarled back, "If you're so desperate to talk to me, come with me to the bathroom." "No thanks," was the reply. Now, is this the same reporter? I think whoever this reporter is, let's go and see who the reporter is. Hang on, let me have a look. Does it? Nadia Cohen. Oh, no, we don't know you, love. You're just a little writer for The Sun. That's all you are. A little writer for The Sun, dear. These poor celebrities. I bet you just don't like them. You're jealous of their fame, aren't you, love? That's what it is. You're jealous of their fame. I don't think it's the celebrities at all. It's this Nadia woman who's writing in The Sun. Boy's Own. She goes on. Many A-listers are charming, courteous, and appreciate how privileged they are. Certainly all the ones that I ever met, the stars, almost all of them have been nice people. I just want to keep pointing out, including the drag queens. It was only about three who I thought you were a bit of a dickhead, you know. But Ronan Keating apparently isn't one of them. Ronan was a strange one, she says, revealed our reporter, who interviewed him at the London offices of his record label, Polydor, back in 1999 when he was in Boy's Own. Well, it's a bit different to what it is now, isn't it? Is he still like that, darling? Is he still like that? I doubt it very much. Mate, it's got to be you, isn't it? You can't have so many upsets with so many people. It's got to be you and your attitude towards other people, dear Nadia, or whatever your name is. No one knows anyway. For some reason, he insisted on spending the whole interview sitting sideways onto me and would not look directly at me. Maybe a little bit more makeup then, lovey, you know. Perhaps you're not a particularly nice face to look at. Might be something like that, mightn't it, my love? You know, I mean, a lot of my friends, they can help you with makeup and hairdos. The gays are very, very good at doing hair and faces, love. Which one would you like done? Oh dear, what a scream this is today. Whatever I asked, he would just give the answer with a bored shrug. Hey, another one who's bored talking to you, love. Are you getting some sort of idea here that it's you that are boring and not them? I think so. He would answer with a bored shrug and kept asking his PR how soon I was going to leave so he could go and get something to eat. It was like I was invisible. Well, you are. I didn't know you. Neither do any of my viewers. I'd be very, very surprised if any of my viewers know who you are. Nadia from The Sun reporter. Evening, Debs, who is Inglagress. Evening, Debs. Are your girls there as well? Debs is on holiday in Greece. Some of the choir members think me and Debs are having an affair, and we just carry on and let them think it. Mark says, you wouldn't have time to fall asleep with me. I don't think I would, to be honest, would I? And I should hope not, otherwise I'd be really disappointed. Mark, like I said, company on its own is good. Don't have to do anything else, love. Not at my age. Right, here's the next one. Isley Say. Is it Isley or Isle? Oh, Isle. I-S-L-E. Isle Say. That's his name. Isle Say. No, not ringing a bell anywhere. That's not ringing a bell with me. Don't know who that is. Ah, a Love Island star. No, not star. Celebrity. None of the people on Love Island or Big Brother or Make Me a Dinner and Slag It Off, none of these people are stars. They are minor Z-list celebrities. All of them. Love Island star Chris Taylor has perfected his cheeky chappy screen persona, but away from the spotlight, his knee-jerk reaction shocked us. Love Island loser Chris Taylor pushed in front of me at the TV Choice Awards at the Hilton Hotel in Park Lane in 2019, said one of our team. Award show after parties are typically boozy affairs. That night there had already been a fight between two of the soap stars, Hollyoaks Hardman, Jamie Lomas, and Emmerdale's Asan Njai. Nope. So perhaps there was an edgy frisson in the air. Well, that's what these minor people are like. You know, anyone ever see a fight between Les Dawson and Bernard Manning? Anyone see a fight there at all? No. Anyone see a... Shirley Bassey doesn't fight with anyone, does she? Anyone see a fight with Shirley? The Brotherhood of Man people? Anyone see a fight with them? No, we don't see that. It's only reality TV show people. Not stars, people. It says... When Chris Taylor, this is the bloke apparently, got to the bar, things turned frosty. Waiters were handing out free glances of fierce, and I remember Chris jumping to the front of the queue. I said, excuse me, but of course I was joking. Over the years, I had my fill of free booze. He turned sharply and spat, don't you know who I am? Oh, no. Oh, that old one, eh? No, we don't know who you are. It may have been a joke, but it didn't feel it at the time. Well, it might well have been a joke. Why didn't you just take it as a joke then, instead of being offended? Oh, you're that age, aren't you? Are you millennial, love? Are you millennial? Oh, dear. You get all upset, do you, love? Oh, what a shame. She's millennial. She's millennial. Millennial, love. Chris Martin was vile to me, says our source, who had a prickly exchange with the singer at a star-studded bash following the Brit Awards in 2006. These are all very old. We're now talking about Chris Martin. He's Coldplay's man. Appears to have a laid-back charm about him, but it can be a very different story if civilians dare to... Civilians... I have to mix with them all the time. All the time, you know. Like at Sainsbury's earlier, I had to mix with civilians. Oh, it was awful, dear. Don't get that in Waitrose. It can be very different if civilians dare to approach him off stage. Chris Martin was vile to me, who had a prickly exchange with the singer. When Coldplay won an award earlier, he said something cryptic about the band taking a break. Our man on the red carpet added, when I saw him at the label's after party, I just took a seat and introduced myself. Cut me off, he rudely snapped. Don't just assume you can sit down next to me. It's like being on Vera's table. I hope this isn't my mate's cough. Yeah, if you come to karaoke at Central Station, let me see if I can find the poster for you. There it is. If you come here, right, don't assume you can sit on Vera's table. You ask permission first. And if she don't want you to sit there, she will tell you. No, you can off. That's our Vera. I've seen it, and it's hilarious. Can I sit? No, F off. Oh dear. In fact, you probably got more chance of sitting with Chris Martin from Coldplay than on Vera's table at Central Station. There we are. The interviewer goes on, sensing he was going to be a nightmare, I decided to walk away. But then Chris grabbed my arm and said, no, sit down, but don't just assume you can sit down without asking. Well, it was clearly a joke then, wasn't it? Idiot. Oh, what is wrong with these bleeding millennials? They can't have a laugh, can they? The Gen Zs are even worse. I've got something to tell you about. If you really want to confuse a Gen Z, I'm going to tell you about that in a bit, all right? Anyway, that goes on. Apprentice boss, Lord Alan Sugar. I like him. I don't think he's got any bullshit in him whatsoever. He tells you as it is. It says here, apprentice boss Lord Alan Sugar is such a devoted Spurs fan that he bought the club in 1991, but one of our reporters recalls an unsporting run-in 3 years ago. Our insider explained he was awful to me, and I'm a Spurs fan, but that didn't certainly break the ice when we met at his office a few years ago. Indeed, the wealth-obsessed star likes to pin copies on his office wall of the cheques he has paid to the tax man. Well, what's wrong with that then? What is wrong with that? I think you're just clutching at straws here, aren't you, love? Clutching at straws. In one interview, he picked up his mobile and began texting, barking, "That's a stupid question." I think he was just one who couldn't be bothered to answer. You'd think after decades in business and on prime-time TV, the apprentice boss would understand the value of PR. No, maybe he just didn't like you, because I'm getting to that opinion. I just don't like you, Nadia. I really don't. You seem to be... When I'm reading into these stories, you seem to be the problem here. Not the celebrities that are so supposed to say, you know. Debs in Greece wants to say hello to Debs, Karen, Joe, and all. Is it all or Ali? Hang on. The screen's a bit damaged. All. And all in Hydra in Greece. So hello to you all in Greece. Come here to get a little bit of English television, have you, my love? Yes. Don't forget Butler's Empire, 8 o'clock, gang. Oh. Text message coming through. Let's see who this is from. Oh, it's from my mate. Oh, jeez. Not well. Bring the keys. He's not well. Right. We seem to have a text message stuck, because I've got a little number one there. Oh, there it is. Dean When are you buying me coffee? Coffee, dear? No, dear, tea. This is not America, love. We have tea here. Tea. Where are you, Dean? You're not far. I don't mind meeting up with you one afternoon if you want. Hopefully not in a Starbucks. But, you know, if necessary, yeah. Ali as in Alison. Thank you very much, Alison. Well, can we have whole names, please, Debs? Not abbreviations like what everyone does these days. Abbreviation. By the way, welcome along to the CR on UKT. Don't know what that means, do you? Bleeding abbreviations. Honestly, Debs. No, I'm not going to say it. I won't say it. I'll have to talk to you on the phone. I was going to say something then, but I better not. I just don't know who's watching this anymore or listening to the shows. Right. And there's some more names here. I'm only going to do another couple. Jack the Lad. Anyone heard of him? Who was he? Oh, another Love Island bloke. No, I'll ignore it. So Jack the Lad. These are other people that she's interviewed. I don't know any of them. Nobody's. Someone called Zoom Doom. What did she do? Oh no, no. Sorry, that's not her name. Her name is Isla Fisher. Isla. Isla Fisher. No, me neither. Apparently a model. Oh, here we go. Katie Price. Let's read her one. It says it's no secret that Katie Price's life is something of a car crash. When it comes to dealing with the press, she sometimes shows an astonishing lack of grace. This one isn't surprising me at all. One reporter explained, I was there in Ibiza when Katie Price threatened to cut a journalist from a weekly entertainment magazine because she felt they were favouring Peter Andre in their divorce coverage. I'll cut you. Was it a bit like that, was it? Oh, God. I don't. So we know that one. There's not much on it. I'm surprised there's not much there, to be honest. Not much there at all. We're going to do two more. The lovely Joan Collins. We love Joan. Of course she would expect her to be a massive star, Joan Collins. It says, of course, Dame Joan Collins is the ultimate diva when she arrived at the awards ceremony at the Hilton Hotel on London's Park Lane in March 2002. She demanded VIP treatment, and so she should get it. She's not you, love. She's not some little bleeding reporter in the Sun, is she? She's a big star, something that you will never be. What's wrong with these people? Our insider explained the photographer was taking a group photo of all the celebrity guests. So I said, would you step this way, Mrs. Collins? Took her arm and steered her towards the line of people. I hesitated just for a moment and she turned to me and snarled, you mean you don't know where to place me? In the middle, love. In the middle at the front. Are you thick? You've clearly got no idea how to talk to these people. They are stars. Well, some of them are stars. Joan Collins, you are no one, Nadia. Nobody. You're a nobody. Like me sitting here. I'm a nobody. And you're the same, I'm afraid. I wonder how many people actually read the whole thing that you wrote. Is that you writing? Is it CGT, darling? Is it a little help from the CGT? She says, next thing I knew, she had sidled right in between Tony Blair and Jerry Halliwell. Well, given the choice of sitting next to you or in between Tony Blair and Jerry Halliwell, I'm kind of going for the second one. One more. And I have heard this about him, actually. William Shatner. Oh, yes. Bum, 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 bum. Space, the final frontier. Da, 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 da. These are the voyages of the Starship Enterprise. Da, da. It's 5-year mission to explore new places. Da, da, da. Da, 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 to boldly go where no man has gone before. That one. You know who that is. Global megastars can be unfailingly polite and cheerful. It doesn't take a genius to understand that loyal fans and positive press guarantee a long and lucrative career. But our man wished Scotty would beam him up when he met Star Trek's William Shatner to promote his book Boldly Go in 2022. He recalled, "He took against me straight away because he didn't like my nose ring." You turned up to interview a star with a nose ring on? Did you have a tracksuit on as well by any chance? Pair of old tracksuit bottoms and a t-shirt. Do you not know how to do your job? Oh. I bet he... Who's this person? No, there's no name on this one. I bet he'd got a nose ring, meet King Charles. No decorum, is there? He got quite annoyed and ranted at me. Are you in search of love? In search of the mysteries of the world? In search of why you've got a pin in your nose? You sold your soul to the devil, he said. The intricacies of the universe would knock your socks off or take that thing off your nose. At least I think that's what he said, because the whole time he was talking, he was also crunching away on slices of toast with blueberry jam and slurping tea. What a delight. Yeah, because he's so busy. He's a very busy person. Not like you, scrimping and saving, trying to afford your rent for the next week, dear. Do you not know how to treat these people? Anyway, they are the so-called stories of some stars and some nobodies as well. And the reporter there was Nadia Cohen, feature writer. Well, good luck with your career, my love, because you don't seem to be doing too much well there, interviewing. But is that your story, is it? Is that all you can do, stories like that? Dear me. Dean's in Egham. Oh, I go past you several times, a couple of times a week in Egham. I go down the A30 on the way home. I come off, instead of going M25, M3, I go M25, A30, because it's a nice road. I like driving through there. Past the big BP garage, and then up Holloway University on the right, Coworth, so on the left, Coworth Park kind of on the right there. And I always get stuck at those bleeding traffic lights at the Shell little Waitrose, just before Pinocchio's, what's it called? Pinocchio's, the Italian restaurant, where I don't go anymore. Not since last time. Bleeding expensive in there. And how dear are they? Oh, dear. Thank you, Dean. Evening to George Bond joining us. Evening, John. George. Jason says, I think you're talking there about our Dame. Her name's gone. Joan Collins. I think you're talking about Joan Collins. She is legend, and she alive Hollywood. Absolutely is she. She is a legend. There are certain ways that, you've got to talk to people the way you talk to celebrities. And yeah, some of them are right up their own arses, but they work bloody hard to get there, mate. You imagine how hard Joan Collins had to work to get to the position that she's in now. No, I don't fancy working today. Don't want to do that. No, I don't. Oh, that looks interesting. I'll do that one, And then you must treat her like a queen. That's how it is. Nadia is very upset because she's a nobody, you see. I'm a nobody, but I'm not really upset by it. No, because in my mind, I'm a little star. And I like to remind my sister of that as many times as I can. Chris, you're cracking up, but we all like it. Are you on Valium? I don't really know what a Valium would do, actually. I've never had one. Never had a Valium. But in the 90s I did go to raves all the time. Not Valium, though. That's all I'm saying. George isn't well. Paul Adamson. No one visits me in deepest Kent unless it's going to the tunnel. Benefit is a short drive to France. Are you on top of the tunnel somewhere? Oh, I beg your pardon. Paul hasn't got multifocal glasses. He's got contact lenses. I beg your pardon. Oh, that must be. I should imagine they're even worse. I couldn't be having something attached to my eye. No, thank you. No, I don't want laser surgery either. You know, if someone makes a mistake, that's it. Only one set of eyes. What are you going to do? Grow some more? Or wait till someone donates them to you because they've been killed in a car crash or something like that? Awful. Just dreadful. All right. So they're our rudest celebrities. And that's it. Now, the Gen Z thing I was talking to you about. Have you got an annoying Gen Z person around you? I came across one last week at the karaoke. Was it Saturday night? I got on with them. I was reading off these really bad jokes to them. I mean, I'll tell you one now. A bloke goes into a... No, maybe not. Maybe not. An Indian man dies and go... No, I won't do that either. Bernard Manning type jokes. Very, very funny. Don't be offended. He never sought to offend people. People seek offence. People seek offence. When I do this show, none of it is supposed to be offensive. Not to anyone. Right? If you're offended, don't change things. But how do you want to get one over on a Gen Z? I think this would really confuse them. It's just a very quick story here. Oh, where is it gone now? I thought I'd put that on there. So there it is. Here it is. I've got it. Right. Now, I'm just going to show you this picture here. Right? Everyone know what that is? Look carefully. It is an Argos catalogue, boys and girls. We love it. And we look through it. And we don't buy anything because it's cheaper on Amazon. All right. There we are, the Argos catalogue. In time for Christmas. And it says here we go. This is how to do it. The physical Argos catalogue pushes on for another year. I can't believe that's still a thing, to be honest. When you go, I don't know if you've ever been to an Argos, when the catalogue comes out, they have got stacks and stacks of catalogues. Quite honestly, how they can afford to keep printing these things, I do not know. But they literally stacks of them. They come in on big pallets. And the story is a very quick story. The physical Argos catalogue pushes on for another year. Gen Zs and the youngsters stare at it, confused, wondering, how does this work without a touch screen? You pick up the catalogue and look, and you see something. How do I order this? There's no button on here. Where do you put the... Do you hop... looking for the little code, that little square box with the little dots in it. There's no code. And do we point it at the words? Confused. They can't do it. They can't work it. They cannot work an Argos catalogue. Too confusing for them. The story says they never know the innocent hope of circling a Mr. Frosty ice maker and waiting to see if it appears on Christmas morning. You can just imagine them with one of those. They open the catalogue. Oh, you make a circle. They put a circle around there, and then 2 weeks later, they're still sitting there. Well, it hasn't arrived yet. Great story, that one. Very, very funny indeed. I'll mention again, gang, if you're going to send us a message, please use the text number up there. 07451 287 337 is the text number, okay? 07451 287 337, or send us an email just down below there, chris@chrisreardon.co.uk, and that message will get seen and it comes up right in front of me here, as long as I push that button a couple of times here and there, and I'll be able to see it. There we go. George says his stepdad has contact lenses and he really struggles. We'll go back to glasses then. Why put up with them? I wouldn't. I couldn't be doing contact. Something attached to your eye. And then you see, I don't know, I think it's because people don't clean them properly. I've never had them, and I don't want them, but they get little microorganisms underneath the lens, don't they? And that eats your eye. Eats your eye. Awful. Paul Adamson says, I love a fence, especially if it's 6 foot high. Very good. Paul had laser surgery in 2001. Best thing ever. And is that it? You had it done once and then nothing. Very good. So are they as good now as they were? I don't think I want a laser thing going on. I mean, presumably you have your eyes open at the time. Oh, my God. Oh, no. It's bad enough going in for a colonoscopy when they ask you, do you want to watch it on the screen? No, I bleeding don't want to watch it on the screen. Oh, no. Bad enough having to send a poo sample in, let alone watching the inside of your arse. I want to bleed in the screen above you in colour. Why would anyone want to do that? Strange people. Okay. Now, I have had a little bit of good news this week, boys and girls. As you know, I had a heart CT scan last week. I've already had a heart ultrasound, which turned out fine. I had a heart CT scan the Wednesday before last. And a lot of you have already seen the video, including a couple of people at the church, funnily enough. Lovely Dorothy, who showed concern, and it's very nice when people show concern. You get a lot of that in the church. If you've got something wrong and you tell people, that you get a lot of concern, which is a lovely thing. Anyway, so 2 weeks ago I had a heart CT scan, and that was done. We got through it in the end. Do watch the video if you haven't seen it. There's a separate video all on its own, just a little bit below this one, I think it is. And I saw the doctor on the Friday, but the scan hadn't come back yet. So I asked about the ultrasound one, and that was all fine. Everything seems to be flowing through nicely. Fine. And on Friday, I thought I'd just send my doctor a little email and ask if he'd got the thing back. The hospital I went to was the Royal. It's the Royal Free I go to, Carl. I have a little bit of a blood issue, actually. Okay, that I've had now for about 15 or 16 years. That I am on top of, and that doesn't give me a problem ever, really. Not really. And so that's fine. That's under control. Now, I have a GP, a normal GP, and that blood doctor. The blood doctor is in London, right? And he will sometimes take on other stuff if you're getting nowhere with the GP, right? And I'd had this chest issue. This is last year, two lots, and it was really bad, frightening. Months and months this went on for. Eventually, and the GP was, give it another couple of weeks, give it another couple of weeks. That's all they bloody say. Eventually, I went into my doctor and I said, look, can you have a look at this? Yeah, come in. They look at it, put me on antibiotics, which didn't really do anything. Put me on other antibiotics. They kind of did something, and it come back again. Eventually, we did another chest x-ray. He said, He said, let me take this to the chest man and I'll come back to you. And he come back to us. He said, we think you've got a chronic chest infection, as in a long time. So, well, I know that. He said, I think it's not really ever gone. I'll put you on 4 weeks of antibiotics. Went on the 4 weeks of antibiotics. This is last year. Yeah, last year it is. Went on the 4 weeks of antibiotics. No, sorry. This is this year. Okay, so this would be May, I think it was. This was in May. And 4 weeks of antibiotics, which actually went into my holiday at California. And I was taking these pills, and they weren't really doing anything. I didn't seem to be doing it. And I finished them all 4 weeks, still not better. But then over the next few weeks, it got better. So I don't know if that's like your body reacting afterwards, once all the stuff inside of you is dead. You know, all the little bad bits. Maybe that. So that's it. And the last time I was in there, I said to him, I've got this issue around here. This is after the chest was clear. Okay, what's the issue? And he said, you've been on a heart machine? No, not really. Any pains down your arm? No. Shortness of breath? No. Are you when you exercise it? No problem. I said, I can go up and down 80 lengths in the swimming pool and walk out like I've done nothing. I'll go on that machine up there. Let's have a look. And the little human sent out an error. So he said, I'm going to book you in with a heart angiogram. I'll ask the heart man. And the heart man said he wanted a heart ultrasound and heart CT scan. So we had the ultrasound, CT scan happened. And on Friday, I thought I'd send him a little message. I said, did you hear back from the CT scan yet? And he replied, I can find it. I'll read you what he said. It's a lovely doctor. Really, really nice doctor. Should have had this ready for you, really. Blimey, it's 7:30. We've hardly done any of the stuff, have we, yet? Heart CT scan. And I wrote, morning, just wondered if you got the heart CT scan thing back. If so, should I arrange a phone in or a visit? I didn't get anything sent to me. If not, I could call and see where it's been sent to. Maybe your heart man has got it. Chris. Hi, Chris. Your CT scan was normal with no significant heart disease, which is great news and much better than mine because he's got a bit of a dodgy thing going on. When the secretaries get here, I'll send you a copy which you can forward to your GP, which he sent me over. And I had a read of it, and there's not one single thing there that they're bothered about. It's all nothing to see here, nothing to see here, normal, nothing to see here. What they did find was a very small hiatus hernia, which they don't seem to be bothered about at all. And I looked it up on the internet, and they don't usually bother with a hiatus hernia doing anything about it other than putting you on a little pill, which I'm on already, actually. It's more of a capsule thing, like a capsule with stuff in it. Omeprazole. And I have been on it for a couple of years, actually, due to acid reflux. But I wasn't doing it properly. I was taking it as and when, and it doesn't work very well like that. It's supposed to have one a day, basically, unless you've got ulcers, in which case you can have 2 or more a day. And it calms down the acid in your stomach, you see. So if you've got ulcers, calms down the acid in your stomach, allows them to heal. Right? If you've got acid pumping out into these damaged areas of your stomach, I suppose, there we are. So that's the news. And I sat there with my mate because I asked him to come round to read it together, even though my doctor had told me that. And we read it together, and there's nothing there at all. It's really clear. Everything is flowing, which at 62 isn't bad at all. So that was the best news, and that news came to me about 15 minutes into my radio show on Friday, and I didn't tell my absolutely wonderful radio audience who are there every morning, and it's not an audience. We're like a group of people who just have a laugh in the morning for an hour, and that's the news. All right, so that was my good news there. Paul says you can only have your eyes lasered once, all over in 20 minutes. Oh no. And can you see the laser jabbing away at your eyeball? Not for me, love. Not for me. Big G, it's lucky I'm not offended easily. The abuse I get at the karaoke. From who, love? You tell me who's abusing you at the karaoke, Big G. I'm not having any of my friends abused. It's outrageous. Terrible people. He says I must be a sadist because I love it. You tell me who that is and I'll put a stop to that immediately, Big G. Thank you very much. Jason says maybe it was your body natural healed by itself. I like to think that, actually, Jason. But the thing is, it went on so long. I don't run to the doctors. Seriously. I don't run to the doctors as soon as I find something wrong. Unfortunately, I am typical to most men, and that is I leave it and I leave it and I leave it, and you shouldn't really do that. I said when I went in for the chest thing, last year. I said, look, how long should I leave a chest infection before I seek help? He said maximum 2 weeks. 2 months later, 2 or 3 months, I'd put up with it. Kept coughing away. Crazy, really, isn't it? So that's the news there, Carl. All right, that's the news. Thank you, Carl, for your kind little words there. Right, how are we doing on the time there, my loves? There we are. I can't find my little list of things to do now. There we are. Oh, I want to give a mention today to Patricia Routledge, who we lost this week. Oh, great actress. She's done many things. Of course, you know the one we all remember her, Keeping Up Appearances, and that was one of my mum's favourite programmes, and the first one I ever watched. I fell in love with that as well. It was just so funny. So funny. I found a little picture on Facebook, which I hope you'll find amusing and not offensive. Okay, I found it very funny, and certainly, you know, if something was to happen to me and someone started putting up things of me on there, you know, like I can't think of anything, but people would think of stuff and they put it up there. This is Chris, very well known. He's happy now that he's in a dark place or something like that. You know, I would find that amusing. Because he's used to being in dark places, you know, that sort of thing. That sort of comedy is all right, I think, when someone passes. What is not all right is when someone passes and people are nasty, like dancing and like when Margaret Thatcher died. You know, you may not like her, but to be dancing around, having parties because someone's died, no, it's not for me. Not even horrible people like Hitler. I don't think you should celebrate someone's death, but that's only me. That's only me. You don't have to. You can dislike them. That's fine, but to celebrate their death, I think there's something mentally wrong with people who do that. Anyway, Patricia Routledge. I very much doubt anyone didn't like her, and the story here is very beautiful, and she talks about herself. 1 month before her 95th birthday, Dame Patricia Routledge wrote something that I'd like to share with you. And she wrote, "I'll be turning 95 this coming Monday. In my younger years, I was often filled with worry that I wasn't quite good enough, that no one would cast me again, that I wouldn't live up to my mother's hopes. But these days begin in peace and end in gratitude. My life didn't quite take shape until my 40s. I had worked steadily on provincial stages and radio plays, in West End productions, but I often felt adrift, although I was searching for a home within myself that I hadn't quite found. At 50, I accepted a television role that many later would associate with me. Hyacinth Bouquet of Keeping Up Appearances, and how much we love that. I thought it would be a small part in a little series. I never imagined that it would take me into people's living rooms and hearts around the world. And truthfully, that role taught me to accept my own quirks. It healed something in me. At 60, I began learning Italian, not for work, but so I could sing opera in its native language. I also learned how to live alone without feeling lonely. I read poetry aloud each evening, not to perfect my diction, but to quiet my soul. At 70, I returned to the Shakespearean stage, something I once believed I had aged out of, but this time I had nothing to prove. I stood on those boards with stillness, and audiences felt that I was no longer performing. I was simply being. At 80, I took up watercolour painting. I painted flowers from my garden, old hats from my youth, and faces I remembered from the London Underground. Each painting was a quiet memory made visible. Now at 95, I write letters by hand. I'm learning to bake rye bread. I still breathe deeply every morning. I still adore laughter, though I no longer try to make anyone laugh. I love the quiet more than ever. I'm writing this to tell you something simple. Growing older is not the closing act. It can be the most exquisite chapter if you let yourself bloom again. Let these years ahead be your treasure years. You don't need to be famous. You don't need to be flawless. You only need to show up fully for the life that is still yours. With love and gentleness, Patricia Routledge. Rest in peace. Isn't that a lovely thing? I particularly like that line there. You don't need to be famous and you don't need to be flawless. You just need to show up. I think that's me as well, isn't it? I think I wanted to be famous once. Yeah, I wanted to be on the telly and do radio and all that, and be known for it. That doesn't bother me so much now. What bothers me now is doing it. And the internet, through all its badness and rubbish and nastiness, has allowed me to do that. To sit here and do my own telly show. The fact that I'm not a famous person, that's okay. And it's certainly not perfect. You just listen to the mistakes I make sometimes on the radio. But that doesn't matter, because I'm sitting here doing it. The difference is with older people like myself, and I'm sure Patricia Routledge and any other older people who do that, we do not require verification in the form of likes or little hearts or money coming in through the door, as long as you've got enough to live on. We don't require verification. I mean, when you see some of the people, some of the youngsters, and I feel for them, they have somewhere along the line they need to have ticks or likes. If they put up a photo and don't within the first 10 minutes get 100 likes, they think they are a failure. You're not a failure. You're not a failure. Just do your thing. You do not require verification from anyone. Seriously. It's a shame that some jobs now, I think on certainly on radio and that, you know, there are very, very good radio people out there. In my personal opinion, I have a friend called Ross Patzel and another friend called Alan Ross, and they do radio shows on Reach On Air with a handful of listeners, and they are excellent, excellent people. But they haven't been on the telly, so they can't get a radio job. They haven't done much FM radio or DAB radio. Therefore, they can't get a job, if you see what I mean. Some of these people, like radio people and all that, they well, you haven't got much of a following on TikTok. Build up your following and then come back to us. Well, can't you just watch them and tell them how good they are? Why do they need these numbers? Why have you got to have all these followers and little numbers and ticks? Why have you don't need all that. Just be yourself. But some of these organisations require you to have a following now before they will take you on. How did we get to that stage? But like she says there, Patricia Routledge, you know, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. If you can do what you love, then that's it. And I do. Someone said to me, would you do a daily chat show? Well, someone said last week, would you do what you do Sunday night? Would you do a daily one of those? Well, actually, I used to do that. Before I did the radio show, I did do a daily chat show. And someone said to me, you need to build up the numbers on that. Why do I need to build up the numbers? And you need to make money from it. So I started trying to do that, and it wasn't working. Didn't work. And I got more and more depressed. I really did. And then something happened one day. There was some sort of audio failure or something, and I threw over. No, I'm not doing it anymore, because I couldn't do it, and I came away from it completely and utterly. And then I think it was my mate Ross Patel again. He was doing radio. He said, "Why don't you come on Reach on Air, do a radio show again, like you used to do?" Because I did the radio thing before. And I was on a proper London radio station for a while, which was great fun. And they left you alone on there because there was no one at night time. They weren't bothered really what goes on at night, as long as you don't upset people. And like I said to you before, I wouldn't want to upset anyone. Anything I do, I would hate to upset someone. There are people who will get upset for the slightest thing, and you need to get a backbone, really. Same as I have. So I booked myself in to do one radio show, and immediately I thought, yeah, this is what I want to be doing. I should have come back to this ages ago. And I started doing it. And then a slot became available, 11 o'clock slot, and I took that. I thought, well, it's a bit late. And then blow me down, a 9 o'clock slot became available. So I asked for it, and they gave it to me, and here we are. I think it's 3 years now. 3 years I've been doing that 9 till 10 o'clock this year. You know where to find me, don't you? There we are. Look at that. Okay. Tomorrow morning, 9 o'clock in the morning. If you can't come along Monday to Friday 9, then I do a Tuesday night at 9 p.m. as well. Okay. So that's where that is. And I started doing that. And it's great. It's great fun. So much fun doing that. Really is. More fun than this? Yeah. So in answer to your question, would I do a chat show again every day? Yes, but I'm having so much fun doing that little radio show in the morning. I wouldn't do this in preference to it, if you see what I mean. So the answer's no. Not now, anyway. Maybe in the future. Never say never, eh? Like old James Bond used to. Just going back to Patricia there, I mentioned to you about the little posts and things that Facebook do and all that. And I came across this, which I think is really good, because she's died now and she's gone to heaven, where Her Majesty is. And it says, "Hello, Your Majesty." And Her Majesty says, "Oh, God, no, not the bucket woman." I think that's bleeding great, that. It's really, really good, that, isn't it, eh? All right. Okay, how are we doing for time? 12 minutes, eh? Can't go past 9 o'clock, my love. Can't go past 9 o'clock. Sharon she starts sending me. She said she collects her dog's poo and sends it to me in a letterbox if I go over time. Okay. I think broken phones. Or I was going to mention broken phones. Anyone else got a broken phone? I was in church this morning. I wasn't doing anything today, like organ playing or anything. That's next week. And I've suddenly been told it's a children's mass next week. And I'd had all the hymns were ready. Although I make a recording every week of me playing the piano of the hymns for the next week, which normally by now all the choir have got. But I didn't have time to do it yet. And I'm glad I didn't, because I've had to change all the hymns again. Look, I had to change them all again, dear. Honestly. Anyway, I was sitting there today with my friend Marion. She's like in charge of the Eucharistic ministers and does a lot with the church. Lovely lady, Scottish lady. But actually, I think she's going on holiday to Scotland soon. I'm sure she said that. Anyway, and she's got, I think, her niece with her, who's a lovely girl. And we were discussing phones just before the Mass. I have an iPhone 13 mini, right, which is about 4 years old now. But to me, it's 2 years old, because I only bought it 2 years ago. I think, it might be 3 years old now, because I never buy the one that's out now. If you go down one, you'll save hundreds of pounds. If you go down two, you'll save a lot of money by buying the one that's not out now. What's the one out now? Like 1,400 quid for a phone? Are you off your heads? Oh no, but I pay it monthly. It's only £55. £55 a month for a phone? What planet are you on? You buy the phone, cheapest one you can get, and you get SIM-only deal. 55. I think 3 what? Hang on, what are 3 offering? Let me see. Free buy iPhone. Will that work? Let's have a look. There we are. 3. Free. Oh, I can't find now. Okay. Order iPhone Pro. Oh, O2. Let's see what deals they're doing. Here we go. We'll have the 512 gigabyte capacity one in stock. Is this to be ordered or is it part of it? Oh no, here we go. Look, here you go. You get a 36. Is that an iPhone? Oh. Okay. What do we get for this then? Right, there's an unlimited fair use classic plan. What's this? Okay, classic plan. O2, no insurance, roam freely, unlimited text, unlimited messages, data rollover. Well, I don't see how much data you can get with that. Okay, so let's just choose that one for example. Okay, £70.31 a month for a phone. These people are happy to pay that. £70 a month. There's another one here. Same phone here, that new iPhone. £92.30 a month. That's with O2. I don't know. Presumably you get insurance as well with that. Wow. £92 a month. And that's what people are paying. So they can have a nice, bright, shiny new iPhone. This is an iPhone 13. But it's seen better days. I mean, I hope you like the case. Most people do not like this case. If I take the case off, you'll... oh, there's a little O2 SIM there that I used in Scotland. Look, it's a bit... and actually, that's a bit sharp there. That was glass. You see, that's all broken there. But works perfectly well. Works fine. And Marion's, I think her niece... She said, oh, I've got that as well. She showed me the back of her phone and that was all smashed up as well. It's just how it is. So expensive for phones. So my advice is save up. Okay, if you haven't got the money, save up and buy your phone outright. Go 2 below, 1 or 2 below the one that's out at the moment and you'll get a reasonable priced phone. Okay? This, I think, is... I'm sure I've had this 2 or 3 years. I'll be able to look it up. The battery is running at 82%, which means I usually charge it at night and in the afternoon when I have a little bit of a sleep, and it's fine. Works perfectly all right. Why would you upgrade your phone every year? I swear people have got more money than bleeding sense. Really. And so you buy your phone, then you get a SIM-only deal. And I know 3 SIM-only, 3 SIM-only, unlimited data. 3 do seem to be the cheapest ones. I don't really have a problem with 3. You will find, whatever network you talk about, you will find people that have had problems with that network. So when people say, oh, 3 is all crap.
I'm not quite sure how to help you with that.
Sorry, did I give you permission to speak? Are you taking the mic? They're listening all the time. Yeah, you'll always find, but it's like with cars. Oh, you got a Ford. Oh, it's worst car. What a rust bucket that is. And they come in. Everyone's had a problem with some. Oh, you're on Virgin Media. Worst network ever. I've been with them for like 20 years. Fantastic. I've had a couple of little problems here and there, and then you'll find someone who's gone with Virgin Media and they've had nothing but problems. My brother-in-law and Martin from Butler's Empire and my sister have constant internet problems. They're with BT Internet, and it's really bad there. They have had nothing but problems for years and years and years there. My nephew's on BT Internet. Doesn't have a problem. So you'll always, when you go in these chat boxes and Facebook things, oh, what do people think about this? You'll see one that's had 100% fantastic time with whatever the subject is, you know, eating tins of baked beans, Heinz baked beans, always wonderful. There's someone else there, oh, worst brand ever, I opened them and insects came out, or something stupid like that. Here we are, unlimited SIM, 24-month plan on 3 is... £25 a month. £25 a month. Okay. I think that's pretty good. SIM only. There we are. Not bad at all, is it? And you can do different plans there as well. Okay, Dean. I had to speak in front of 10,000 people and I mucked up and got upset, but I still carried on. When I finished, everyone clapped. Yeah, always carry on. Always carry on. Try and turn it into it. Don't worry about it, mate. People understand that, you know. Shania's out. Hello, Shania, beautiful lady. I paid £60 a month for my phone on EE before the 2-year contract was up. She now pays £18.50 an hour for the SIM. There you go. So she's had her phone 2 years. You just keep these phones go. Listen, when you buy the new up-to-date ones, I don't think you notice much difference. Seriously. Even when I've changed my phone, I suppose there's been differences over the years, but I haven't really noticed that the pictures a million times. Oh, now a million pixels. Well, what's that mean? Does it look any better to the human eye? Probably not. If the picture's good enough, just leave it. You don't need to keep upgrading this stuff all the time. And the other thing is, if you do buy it on, you know, when you pay so much a month, keep an eye on the contract. Because for 2 years or 3 years, whatever it is, you're paying for the phone. At some point, that finishes. But if you do not tell them it's finished now, you'll continue to pay the higher rate. Because they won't tell you, or they didn't used to tell you. Anyway, I remember that. Righty-ho, boys and girls. We're Carl. Thank you, Carl. Who sends me a couple of Patricia outlet pictures there. Welcome, bloke in heaven. Welcome, Mrs. Bucket. It's Bouquet. And then there's one of her and Onslow, who's already up in heaven, as you know. And she arrives. And for goodness sake, Onslow, put a shirt on in front of the Lord, because he's standing there in a white vest. And then there's a priest and another lady, a nun or something, I think, running away when Patricia Routledge walks through the gates. Oh my God, it's the bucket woman. Very good. Very good indeed. Thank you very much, Carl. He sends me more pictures there. Thank you. I haven't got time to put those up now, Carl. All right. Thank you very much for joining us on the show today. It's been a pleasure. I'm sure I'm back with you next week. Hang on, let me just check my diary. Very, very busy. Busy. Hang on, let me cover this. Because you're not allowed to say a bit of this. Yeah. Yeah, here next Sunday. Here next Sunday, my darlings, all right? So looking forward to seeing you then. And am I there the Sunday after? Not the 19th. I don't think I'm here on the 19th. Well, I'm actually away on the 19th. And I've got some stuff to do on that day anyway. So won't be there on that. But I'll see you again for another one of these next week. Now, if you're around tomorrow morning, I mentioned this a couple of times, I do a little radio show. It's great fun. There's a great community of people there who talk to each other, similar to the chat box here. If you download Twitch, there is a chat box, but you don't need to watch the show. You can just listen to it. Just go to reachonair.com. Okay? When you open that, look for the little box that says listen, and there's a little play button, okay? Hang on, let me have a look at it. Let me have a look at it. Reach on Air. Where is it now? Let's just Reach on Air. So if you type in reachonair.com, right in the top right hand corner, it says listen. It couldn't be more obvious. Just click that button and you'll be able to listen to the show tomorrow morning. Now, if you have a smart speaker, one of the Amazon devices, you can listen on there. That's really easy. Go into your Alexa skills, right, and look for the app Reach on Air. Okay, that's actually misprinted. I just realised it's misprinted on there, isn't it? It's Reach as one word and then On Air as another word. How have I got that wrong there? I'll have to correct that. I'll just make a note of that. Correct poster. It should be Reach one word and then On Air is the other word. Okay, so enable that skill. Then close the app, and then you should just be able to say, her name, play Reach on Air, and she just plays. So you might have to do it a couple of times. Sometimes she plays Reach by S Club 7 and all that business. Anyway, Mark, are you still with us, Mark? That's not like you to be there the whole show, love. Are you on your way round, love? Or have I got to go to the gym again and try and chat someone up there? Oh, dear, I do try. All right. Thank you very much, gang. Thanks for taking the time and trouble to send your emails and your messages there. That is how it is now, I'm afraid, as the chat box is so busy there. Have a nice evening, and I'll see some of you tomorrow morning just after the 9 o'clock news. Thanks for being there. Good night now.